Hello, everybody. My name is Yael Sagun, and I am from the United States. I'm in the state of Arkansas, and today I will be giving y'all a story on why I chose the EMT or how I decided to major a little bit in EMT. Let's get started. Share screen options. Oops. Okay, my bad. So, again, again, this is my story on how I decided to major in EMT. So it all started in May of 2023. I graduated high school of May of 2023. This is me when I graduated, and this is my high school diploma, as you can see. I graduated high school and I did not know what to major in. I wanted to give nursing a try, but then I decided that I didn't want to commit 4 years into nursing and then realized that I did not like it. I did not know. I wanted to teach, but at that time I wasn't 100% sure I wanted to teach. So at this time I was more confused than anything. So I did not know what to choose. And so then I ended up choosing EMT and giving it a try before trying nursing out. And EMT is only 6 months long, is what I gave it a try, and I liked it. I enjoyed it and all that. Well, part with EMT is a lot of studying. You had to memorize, when I mean everything, I mean everything. The parts of the hearts, the anatomy of the hearts, the blood, head, um, anything that you can think that it is medical related, you have to study for it. Obviously, I have way more pictures I could have added here, but it could have taken forever for me to add pictures. So these is like study guides here. I had to do this is the trachea of the heart and the valves and how blood comes in and goes out of the heart. And then here is naming the anatomy of each part of the heart and what it is. And then this is where we would take the test, and this is where one of the tests I failed. And prior for doing EMT, at least in my state or in my school, you only have two tries. You have two tries to take the test, and after your third try, if you do not pass, you completely failed. I was thankful enough. I had only had to take it twice. I had never had to take it no more than three, and I'm glad I passed. It was hard. It was really, really hard. It was difficult. Um, but I passed. And then once you pass your test, which is like four tests you have to pass, you have to start clinicals. And one thing about clinicals is this is the part where you have to start um, doing EMT, or you start doing your patient assessments and stuff. So before I was able to start clinicals, or in one of my clinicals, you might could have had an accident of a car involving. So in these two pictures, you can see that we were taking a part of a car. You were using your uh, what's it called your hydraulics. I'm sorry, they're called hydraulics. You had to use like these clamp things, which I didn't even really post a picture of it, but this could also include like usually a lot of people with car accidents, obviously they get stuck inside their cars or they pass out in their cars. So you have to learn how to open cars and take apart car doors. As you can tell here, this is a car door. And here I was with the EMT, with the fire department, I'm sorry, of my state, of my hometown, and they were helping me use, oh, this is the hydraulics. This little thing here, you see this? This is the hydraulics. That is what you use if people ever get trapped inside their cars and you have to get them unstuck. Usually this is in extreme cases such as like a rollover or where cars don't stop and they take a lot of people out. Again, don't really have to worry about it unless you're like in a really, really bad car accident. Is when you truly have to use hydraulics and you go through this. But this is part of the EMT. You have to learn how to use hydraulics, which is this is the picture, and this is one of my best friends. We did EMT together and we liked it. And then when you are doing your clinicals as well, you need to do patient assessments, which is this. You have to Put down the time that you got the call, what patient it is, obviously for obvious reasons and for HIPAA violations and Privacy Acts and all that. I cannot put their actual name. I put what time we got the call, what time we came back to the actual like base, what time we arrived to the patient, their pulse, their blood pressure, their finger thing, their heart rate. And then you usually have to take it twice, and this is the second time. And then this is the place where we went, where we took them, which is a Howard Medical Center, which is like 30 minutes away from where I live, the hospital that we took them at. And then before like turning them into the actual hospital, we have to do our last set of vitals, which is like your blood pressure, I'm sorry, and your oxygen, like how much you're breathing. And then you have to record everything. You record everything again, you record everything because in case you have somebody wants to do a lawsuit on you or is trying to file something against you, you have all of this that can help you provide and help you in a court or in a case of law. And then once you do clinicals, which in the state of Arkansas, it is, I think you have to do at least five in the state of Arkansas. Each state is different, or depending on where you are. Only in Arkansas, you have to do three. I could be wrong. It's been a while since I did it, but I think it has to be three or more you have to do. And then the psychomotor skills, this is your last part before you go and have to take your actual state board exam, and it's called your psychomotor skills. Obviously, this is only trauma, but you have a trauma and you have a medical. They're usually the same. The only difference with medical is only halfway, which is from this part and this is what's medical. This is mostly like if it's breathing or like for instance somebody it's not that major such as like somebody cannot breathe and they need to take an inhaler. It's usually more of a medical one. Trauma is more extreme, such as the patient falls down from their stairs, or they hurt themselves, or a bone is broken, or um, what do you call it? More extreme cases such as falls, like anything that is four times your height and you fall is an extreme trauma case that you have to report. I mean, you have to report for everything, but it's more extreme cases. And this is the steps which you would have to learn. You have to know this by memory. And then you would have people who are like professionals come in and they will test you on this. Sometimes they will skip. Like, for instance, this is in order, right? That they go, sometimes they might go one, two, three, and then they'll go down here. And then you would have to let them know that, oh, that they skipped and then you have to let them know. And if you do not let them know, you fail. And for this, at least in the National Registry, which is part of, I think mostly everybody uses them, you have three tries. You have a first try, a second try, and then the third try. If you do not pass on your third try, you have to go to your state capital. Now, again, I am in the state of Arkansas. My state capital is Little Rock. So I would have to go to Little Rock if I did not pass on my third try, and I had to go and retake my whole course, basically my whole clinicals, my whole studying that I did. I would have to go and take it at Little Rock and have a teacher with them instead of the professor that I have now. So yeah, I'm thankful I didn't have to do that. Nobody that I have known has ever done that. Usually they're super relaxed, they're super nice. It's very nerve-wracking, like it's super scary, but usually it's not that much of a problem, that much of a problem. Um, it can get scary, especially if you do not know or you get nervous easily. I did not mess up. I'm thankful. I learned it. But I had my friend in the other picture, she messed up, but she passed on her second try. And it's really, really good. And you need to make a total of at least a 40 out of 42. You can only make two mistakes for you to pass this. As you can see here, it says total 42. And then once you pass your psychomotor test, you are ready to go take your state or some call it your written test. And this is extremely, extremely, extremely hard because you have everything. And I didn't put it here, but in EMT, you have six lessons. You have medical, you have trauma, you have child, you have medications, you have operations and vehicle. I'm sorry, it was five, not six. You have five. Those are the five things you have to learn, which is medical, trauma, child, medication, and operations in the vehicle, such as like how do you drive, or if you were to get hit as someone who drives the EMT ambulance, like what are the consequences, which is really, really bad. If you are driving an EMT ambulance and you get hit, you get charged and even imprisonment. You get sent to jail. It's very, very scary. But this is why it's so important that you know the state laws and you know how to drive and know your regulations. But yeah, back to this. This is studying. This is everything. It's a huge binder like that big that you have to study for everything, everything. And I'm telling you everything. The only thing that sucks about it is when you go take your state board or your actual like final exam at a national level, sometimes you just only get tested on one subject or two subjects. And out of the five subjects, you can only get tested once or you can only get tested two things. When I took mine, I passed it on my first try. Well, we'll talk about that in a minute. When I took mine for the first time, or when I took it just in general, I had two, which was medical and it was medical and medications were the two that I got tested on. A friend of mine, the friend that I showed you, she had to take it twice. And she got child, she got trauma, she got medical, and she got operations. Mine was only medical and medications. And you have only three tries to take it. If you do not pass on your three try, you are done. Like you have to restart the whole class and you have to redo it. If you do pass, you will get this email sent to you. It says, congratulations, it has your name, and it tells you that you have passed and that you are now allowed to start doing EMT. And then after you pass, you get to graduate. And so this is my whole buddies. This is everybody I went to school with when I did EMT. As of far that I know, these two people are doing EMT. I'm not. I'm currently studying, and then this is my friend, and she is studying to be a psychologist. This is my family, right? And then this is your college. So once the college that you went to or the school that you attended, you will get a certificate from them, which is this. This is the college I attended to, and then this is my national registry. This is the main one. This is the important one, as this is the one that tells you that you are allowed to do EMT in anywhere in the country that allows you to do EMT. And then obviously this is me where I got handed my diploma. And then after that, you have your license. This is my state of Arkansas license since I live in the state of Arkansas. So I have to do my EMT license. I need to have it. If I can go ahead and do my Texas one and I can do Oklahoma and other states, but my only issue with that, or the only issue with that, is that you would have to pass their state recommendations. Each state is different. Each state has different laws and regulations. It just all depends on what you want to do and how you want to do it. And then this is your national registry. This is the same as this, only in card form. This just tells you that, hey, you are allowed to help in cases of critical situations, or you are allowed to work in the EMT side. This is usually due every 3, 4 years. You need to go to a refresher course, which isn't bad. It's like an 8 hour class, but it's really, really fun, super nice. People talk, they sit down and they talk about their stories or their life experience, and then you just go over the five categories, which is medical, trauma, child, medication, and vehicle operations. So, yes, this is all. I hope all of y'all enjoyed me. Hold on, let me see if I can go back to big screen. So, I hope all of y'all enjoyed today's video. I think it was really, really fun. Um, this is my life story on how I did EMT, or at least how it works in the United States, or at least in my state. I hope all of y'all enjoy, and thank y'all. Bye.